Hi. Oh, I guess this is kind of unprofessional. Hold on. I'll change. Just because I'm working from home. Doesn't mean I can wear whatever I want, okay? Even got my Christmas socks. Alrighty, hi guys. I hope that you enjoyed our silly little intro. Took me a good few days of quarantine to come up with that one. If you are interested in learning a little bit more about A Rose for Emily, I am going to sit here, hang out with you guys, take some notes with you guys, and hopefully make it a little bit clearer. I know it's kind of a dense piece, but it's a very interesting piece. If you've read it, you know, and if you don't know, what you don't know is a lot. So, if you are interested in hanging out with me and my co-star Buttons, who is slacking on the job right now, walking around sniffing stuff, I don't know, then definitely watch this video. I know this is a really rough time for us, and I'm so sorry that your junior year got taken from you. I know that sucks, but it's okay. We will deal with it. We will deal with it together. It'll be all right. Alrighty, guys. So I quickly just want to run through some modernism elements. If you would like to take a screenshot of these notes, you can. But I will say that they are not comprehensive, and I'm going to kind of talk through them with you. So, first and foremost, I hope you liked A Rose for Emily. It's one of my favorite modernism pieces. Definitely has some twists to it. But the first motif that I want to talk about is disillusionment. And disillusionment, if you remember, is that loss of faith, especially in the government and authority. Up until this point, Emily's stature and family has protected her from a lot of issues regarding the government. They kind of stay out of her life because she's part of a respectable family. But eventually, after Colonel Sartoris has been dead for 10 years, they want their taxes. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, you have to pay those when you're an adult or if you have a job at all. So naturally, they're not going to let her get away with it. But she is kind of combining the motif of paralysis and stagnation when she refuses to pay the taxes. She does not understand that just because her father paid a sum of money and Colonel Sartoris allowed him to not pay taxes for a little while, that doesn't carry over. I mean, if my dad makes an agreement with somebody that they're going to give him $1 every single day, that doesn't mean that I get $1 every single day. So that's the main idea of disillusionment, is just her distrust of people in general, specifically anyone trying to change the community or change her life, which is why it ties into that paralysis and stagnation. Now, paralysis and stagnation, remember, are that inability to move forward and a distrust of progress. Emily's home is an excellent example of this. I'm sure a lot of you have parents that like to, when they have the time and resources, update their home, keep things modern, be exciting. Emily's home is like a shrine to her past life. Okay, it's very creepy, not nice. When you walk in there, everything hasn't even been cleaned. She has one servant, and he is kind of judged by the neighbors as not doing enough. Emily's bedroom, skipping forward to the end of the story. Now remember, the story does not go in chronological order. That's an example of stream of consciousness. If you don't remember, you should, stream of consciousness. But Emily's bedroom at the very end, that is a shrine to everything that she has lost, okay? So this is kind of her past life, and this is what she wanted as her future. Now, the bedroom scene is kind of, well, not kind of, it's very horrifying, specifically because of Homer's body. Now, Homer's body is disgusting. It is so decomposed that it stopped smelling bad. If you're a true crime fan like me, then you know that that takes a while, a long while. And it doesn't smell anymore. And then there is the symbolic strand of hair. Now, the main, most important thing about this strand of hair is that it is gray. That is the most important thing because it means that Emily was laying in that bed with him long after he died. It would be less creepy, still super creepy, if she had left the body there and never gone back to it, but she didn't. She has this shrine that includes the monogram toiletry set, that includes a wedding dress, the suit that he would wear for their wedding day, all laid out perfectly, covered in dust because it sat there for so long. And the only place that's been disturbed is that place by him. She's been sleeping there. So that's nice. Then we're moving on to alienation and aimlessness. Alienation is that sense of loneliness and separation from others, and aimlessness is that kind of not having a trajectory to go on. So the first one is Homer and Emily's relationship. It's an example of both of these motifs. It's an example of alienation because the people in the town think that this relationship is not good. It is not a properly constructed courtship. He is from the north. He is below her class because of what he does for a living. He's kind of like a construction worker. And she is, again, from that high class family. So their relationship really isn't supposed to happen from the beginning. And all of the neighbors are way too nosy through the whole story and really want her to find better, and they hope that her family that lives in Alabama will come and help her, but her father apparently had some kind of falling out with them, so they're not going to come and help. Now, the next kind of point I want to make with that is the idea of aimlessness. Now, it makes a comment about Homer being interested in men and hanging out with a lot of young men. He is not only not right for her because he doesn't have the right kind of class structure, but specifically because he's not interested in her or any her. So, issues. Emily's lifestyle after her father's death is another issue. When Emily's father died, it kind of took that a little bit strange, a little bit kind of controlling relationship that they had where no one was good enough for Emily. No one was good enough to marry her. And she kind of took that and kind of ingested it in a very negative way. And, I mean, everybody's got issues with their parents, but nobody's got issues with their parents like Emily does. After her father's death, she actually keeps the body for 3 days, which is kind of her first weird dead body experience that we see before we get to Homer. But she does eventually let them come and get him and dispose of the body properly. But after her father's death, she completely shuts everyone out. She has these kind of painting classes for a few years randomly in the middle, but other than that, she completely isolates herself from everyone, apart from Homer. And then after Homer, it's like, nope, we're done. So, Emily's smelly situation. I talked earlier when we were talking about paralysis that she has kept this body of Homer until it no longer smells. Now, one of the easiest ways to isolate yourself is to smell funny. So buy yourself some deodorant, fellas and ladies. But deodorant isn't going to cover the smell of a dead body. So they kind of secretly put some lime around her house to try and get the smell to subside. But really, you've just got to wait. A body decomposing is going to smell horrible. If you've ever had something die in woods around your house, in your attic, whatever, there is no smell like it. So I cannot imagine the smell of a dead body that is much bigger than something like a rat dying in your house. So that is a great way to alienate yourself there, Em. And finally, her poison for rats, quote unquote, that she buys right before Homer's disappearance. Everyone thinks that she's going to use it to kill herself. And the most jarring part of the piece, no matter how horrifying Emily's actions are, in my opinion, in a time and place where we are very progressive in terms of mental health. It is so sad that everyone thought she's bought this poison to kill herself and nobody did anything about it. So if you can imagine being Emily in this state where you are at the point where you're about to murder your probably homosexual lover because you cannot live your life, and everyone thinks that you are going to end your own life, not someone else's, and no one does anything about it. I would probably be a hermit too. I don't know that I would kill my boyfriend, but you know, whatever floats your boat. And essentially, this story is just wild, but it is packed with modernism elements, specifically paralysis and stagnation and alienation. These two, if they did not come up in your notes or your writing about this piece, you really need to take a look again and try and find those elements. There are a plethora of quotes and citations that will tie into these perfectly. Buttons, we gonna be quiet? She's doing her own thing, looking out the window, being herself. But I'm going to close this video out in a second, and I hope that this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, let me know, whatever. And yeah, I will give a little outro, and we'll be done. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to let you go like that. But overall, I really just want to make sure that you guys are understanding the material that I'm giving you. I think we are going to try a Google chat session video thing. I forgot what it's called. Potentially next week. I am not sure how long we are in this for. Buttons, what are you doing? But I just really want to make sure that we are doing the best that we can to stay on track and keep it as normal as we possibly can, while making allowances for the time that you are spending taking care of siblings, helping out your parents, doing whatever it is you need to do. If there's anything that I can help you with, anything that I can do to make this easier, please let me know. When I'm YouTube famous, I promise to only forget about some of you. You know, it'll be okay. Bye, guys.